This is the 12th Thursday Night Mixer. Hello and welcome to KCRep's Thursday Night Mixer. This is number 12. This is our 12th Thursday Night Mixer. And we have our first return guests tonight. And I'm really excited with the hair tosses. Today we're jumping on the trampoline and it was hair toss, check my nails. Maybe how you
Yes.
There's a whole choreographed routine.
I gotta try that on a trampoline.
It gives you it's a COVID trampoline. It's a COVID, give them something to do.
That's why we got it too.
Yo, you got one too?
We just got one this week for like my niece and nephew so that it's like they have something to do like while they're trapped indoors.
Oh yeah. It's given us life. So welcome again to our guests. I'm really thrilled that you're joining us again as part of our Thursday Night Mixer. We have actor and creator Yetunde Felix-Ukwu and actor, writer, and content creator Khalif J. Gillett. And they're the hosts. If you haven't checked this out, please check it out. It's really both entertaining and educational and just a really great web series. You should check out their YouTube web series, Acting Black. And you haven't checked it out, please do. I hope that Jen will highlight how to connect to the series. And I'm going to do this now so I don't forget later. And they have been nominated for Pitch's Best of KC for virtual event.
Yeah, best virtual event.
Best virtual event. And and Khalif, if you will, when does voting open?
Voting opens August 31st. Vote for us. Vote for your other favorites too, but right now, vote for Acting Black, best virtual event.
I too say vote for Acting Black. Well, I think you're in competition with this very. I think we've been nominated too. I think we've been maybe not.
This is awkward.
I say vote for Acting Black.
I don't know what to say.
You all heard it. Stuart said so. Stuart Carden has spoken.
Go vote for Acting Black. People on KCRep staff is like, what are you doing? What?
This is getting discouraged.
No, because no one's doing that because everyone at KCRep loves both of you all, and you are deeply integrated into KCRep in different ways. Yetunde has been working in our artistic office, and most recently, Yetunde and Khalif have been working with our summer youth theater ensemble, and we'll get to a little bit of conversation during tonight's event about SIGHT, Summer Youth Theater Ensemble, and their leadership and mentorship and partnership in that series, which in a moment when we're all isolated, KCRep is so behind this series as an artistic outlet and a way to connect with young people in the region, and we're really proud of it. And so I hope we can talk a little bit about that, because they're in the middle of it. But first, here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna mix a cocktail, attempt to mix a cocktail from our sponsors. Then after we mix our cocktail, we're gonna engage in a little bit of creative conversation. We're then gonna do a short version for those that saw Acting Black join us last time. We're gonna do a short version where we're gonna ask one another one question in kind of the style and theme of their show. And then we promised to get to questions this time, which we went deep last time and didn't quite get to very many questions. So that's the shape of the evening. We're really grateful that you're joining us. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Lifted Spirits, Lifted Spirits Distillery, and they're continuing to celebrate. Here it is, Lifted Spirits. They're continuing to celebrate the release of their Barrel Reserve #2 gin by highlighting folks in our community who are pushing boundaries, taking risks and redefining labels. So this is new since the last time you all were on, but they're doing these video series highlighting innovative people from around Kansas City in combination with this this gin that's been finished in oak barrels. And so this week's cocktail, the Lao Tonic, is in honor of Honorum Thompson, who's the chef and owner, and I hope I pronounced this right, of Anusone. So the chef and owner of Anusone. And the inspiration for this drink comes from Honorum being Laotian, and he cooks Laotian cuisine. His favorite drink is gin and tonics, and Lifted Spirits made a tonic syrup with traditional Lao ingredients. I just said Laotian. I don't know if that's the proper pronunciation. So you're from Lao.
No.
And it's listed as Laotian. Someone in the comments, let us know.
Let us know if we're butchering that.
The proper pronunciation of Laotian. But I'm excited about this. Gin and tonic is one of my favorite drinks. And Khalif is in Las Vegas. And so Khalif, what will you be drinking while we are mixing?
I'll be drinking a G&T, a green tea brought to you by Kroger brand.
Inspired by who? Who is?
I don't know who Kroger is inspired by. Maybe the French say Kroger. That's my fanciness. So that's me over here.
Oh, and so it looks like the way. Thank you for going, Khalif. Thank you. It looks like, and Yetunde, help me with this. So we have this batch, which is the batch with tonic syrup and Lao ingredients, and they don't identify what those Laotian ingredients are.
I smell like some cardamom.
Some ginger, for sure. Some ginger in there.
Hints of, no, I'm just kidding. The swirl it around.
Or like almost tea. Speaking of, almost tea flavor in there. So 1 3/4 ounce of this batch. So I'm doing that.
A little less than a 1/4 cup, I think. Oh, who's the baker?
Pouring. And this smells so amazing.
Now, does this go with the club soda? Because I have a club soda here.
I know. I don't see it in the directions, but I imagine we finish it with the club soda.
Oh, like a splash.
It's like a splash at the end. I would imagine that's how we finish it with the club soda. It doesn't say it in the instructions. And then 2 ounces of the Lifted Spirits Barrel Reserve number 2. Khalif, thank you for just going on the mixing ride with us. Yeah, stir that green tea, stir it up.
I'm just gonna steep this a little bit more.
Very excited about this drink. And I'm gonna mix.
This drink is sponsored by
And
Yes.
Boylan Heritage Club Soda.
Good.
Nice.
Like,
Explain the taste to me, Yetunde. Paint
like,
the
have
picture.
you ever had like Thai iced tea?
Ooh,
It's like a cool, refreshing version of like a Thai tea.
nice.
Whether you're drinking a green tea or the Lao tonic, cheers, friends. Good to see you. Thank you for doing this. Cheers! Cheers out there. I hope people are mixing along. And let's see. Taste test.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So like every week, these have been so amazing. The ginger is super alive. The citrus is super alive in this.
It's just it's like a breath of fresh air. I don't know how to describe it.
Breath of fresh Lao.
And it's pretty dry. It's not sweet. It's just like a touch of sweetness to it. That's
I don't
delicious.
think the warmth is coming from like a cinnamon, cardamom, ginger space, and I love all those flavors.
I do too. So I just said I really needed this drink today.
How's your day been, Stuart?
No, let's not.
So let's unpack this.
I didn't mean to set that up, but I just said as before we got on the air to Yetunde and Khalif, asked them if they were okay with me just giving a quick little update.
Oh, yes.
So for those that have seen some reporting about KCRep today and about our next season, I just wanted to share just a little bit of an update and clarification for those that are joining us, that we announced that our 2020-2021 season that we had chosen and announced back in February, a really amazing season, quite a large scale season. We announced that while it was not going to be possible, we were in the middle of developing and putting the final touches on a new season that will include small scale live performance and family friendly outdoor events and digital theater experiences. And we're really grateful for KC Star doing an article on this. We just feel like the story that I want to continue to amplify is that while that previously announced season has been canceled, we're really excited about continuing to uplift this community through digital theatrical experiences and outdoor family-friendly events and small-scale productions this season. So we're not going dark this season, which I think some people read into the KC Star article in that way. And we're going to be rolling out that programming in the coming couple of weeks. That is responsive and safe ways for us to continue to serve this community and engage in stories and uplift and connect people. So Yetunde, Khalif, thanks for letting me just.
Oh, no, totally. It's important for everyone to know that we're pivoting and we're shifting, things are changing every day. And as a community, we're going to continue to roll with the punches with you. So thank you for taking the time to let everyone know that we're still here.
I mean, we're pivoting so many times that like we're in a hole,
spinning in a circle.
Our toe shoes are just worn out. We gotta tape their toe shoes. So many pivots.
But that's what theater is about: problem solving and being flexible. That's in the spirit of theater.
It is, and on the positive side, Khalif, yes, and also, I think there is something to. Like we are relentless in our connection to our artwork, that sometimes we're also stubborn in our attempts to, fit a square peg into a round hole, because we are so passionate about the work that we do and what it means to bring a community together and be transformed or transported by live performance, that sometimes I feel like that we are great improvisers, and at the same time we're kind of stubborn. And I'm feeling both of those things as a theater artist right now.
I think a little bit of stubbornness is necessary, a little bit of grit to keep persevering through this time. So because if you didn't have it, you kind of get blown away and all. But so right. I think staying power and a little bit of stubbornness, safe stubbornness is healthy.
Yeah.
Safely stubborn. Yeah.
Safe stubborn.
Safe.
I love I heard another oh no, it's floating away. Oh, it will come back to me. I was thinking of somebody mentioned on a conversation I had earlier this week, the kind of antithesis of hate monger, and it was like, be a love monger. It wasn't love monger, but it was something wonderful. That was like such a great juxtaposition of the way you typically hear that phrase. Yeah. It'll come to me in a minute.
It'll come. Not now at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Well, would you all mind sharing a little bit about, give us a little bit of an update on Acting Black, your web series, and where it is and what the next steps are, and anything that you can share to get people excited about going to check out your web series.
Yeah, the next step is mugs. we're trying to get some Acting Black mugs just for the two of us. Maybe if someone else wants one, we'll give them one. But next step is mugs. Yeah. So since we were last on the Thursday Night Mixer, we finished the first season, and we closed the first season. It was 12 episodes, correct?
Yeah.
13 episodes. The last episode was like split into a two-part thing. And our last episode was on We See White American Theater Education. And we invited some current students from our grad program that we went through just to speak on their experience currently and what they want out of education for students of color, BIPOC students, and where they see things going after this huge curve that we're on. Yeah.
And just for frame of reference, for those that that ginger just got me. For a frame of reference, We See White American Theater. Many people in the theater industry will know what this this movement and document is. But for those that don't, well, I could share, but Yetunde, do you want to frame what We See White American Theater is?
It's a collective of theater makers who got together, they're leaders in all different areas of the theater, got together and documented their experiences of the things that they face, the things that they go through, kind of at the hands of the white American theater. So there's testimonials that are on their webpage and on their Instagram page. And they took it a step further to say, this has been our experience and this is what we want next. So a list of demands have been released to the general public, to the general theater, to say, based on the experiences that we're continually having, that are happening all over the country, these are what we feel that steps that you can take as theaters to change and make the story different for everyone, not just primarily for BIPOC artists. And so the demands are out, and the conversation is starting, much like we had on Acting Black. Many theaters are having those same kind of conversations of kind of the reckoning, the coming to the table of this is what's been happening and this is how it has to change.
Yeah.
So it's a manifesto and it's a list of requests.
And it's really powerful, and it's exceptionally both broad in scope and incredibly specific at the same time. And it, I think, one of the really remarkable things about the list of demands is the how it does bring everybody along. That the list of demands is not exclusively about racial equity in the theater. It's about a more equitable theater landscape, and it's a very powerful document, and something that many people, including the staff at KCRep, are engaging with really thoughtfully and regularly, and it's an amazing resource to go back and reflect on what type of theater we have historically been, and also what type of theater we want to be. And there's such an amazing moment right now where all of our theaters across the country are going to come out the other side of this in a slightly different way. And what an opportunity to incorporate equity into that reimagining of the future of the American theater. It's really powerful. It's really powerful. Just really quickly, I was a part of a summit that happened earlier this week on Monday and Tuesday, 6-hour summit on Monday and Tuesday with the executive leaders and artistic directors and board members from all of the LORT Theater, League of Resident Theater, which KCRep is one of them. These are some of the largest institutions in America. There's 130 leaders on this call coming together with the Black Theater United, which is a new group that was some of the most amazing stars and thinkers from Black American theater, including Felicia Rashad and Anna Devere Smith, like
Audra McDonald,
like a phenomenal, Wendell Pierce, like a phenomenal group of artists that were engaged in this collective conversation. And it was powerful and moving and revelatory. And the We See You White American Theater was referenced often during this summit. This was done through another organization with another approach to the conversation. But it was phenomenal. It was really powerful, and the fact that there were representation from all of the leading organizations from across the country engaged deeply in this conversation was a pretty powerful sign. And also there was a calling out as well of this is a remarkable moment. Let's make it a movement. And that was very powerfully articulated sentiment during that. So why 16 shows? Is that how do you end it when it's a web series? How do you decide what a season is?
Well, to be honest, Acting Black has even caught us by surprise. It was a pre-pandemic project. It started last year, and it was an excess of energy and creative ideas, and it was just kind of like a fun thing to do. And then kind of right before our eyes, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Our episodes are supposed to be like micro episodes, 5 minutes long, because that's how short my attention span is. And the topics got deeper and the episodes got longer and the audience grew kind of right before our eyes, because it just so happened to coincide with these double pandemics that we were going through. And so it was just like this perfect storm. And so I say that to say we were kind of flying by the seat of our pants, like, hey, so who should we interview next? Oh, yeah, all right, let's do that.
This sounds familiar. This sounds
yeah, right. So we're kind of figuring it out, going with the momentum, building as it builds. And we both knew that we were going to be doing the Summer Youth Theater Ensemble. And we knew that we wanted to not continue flying by the seat of our pants. We wanted to kind of draw back, plan, and because Khalif has got a brilliant mind and he's got all these ideas. But if we didn't pull back, we wouldn't have time to implement. Now we have time to really focus on the site students. And now that site is almost ready for the public, that's actually going to be our next project of meeting and scheduling interviews. We've got some really exciting people who got caught up in the momentum, and we're going to be interviewing them. We've got some more creative, like dialogue, performative things that we're going to be implementing. And right now, it's almost not enough to call it a web series, because we just have so many ideas that it's going to become a thing that can't really be described because of all the ideas that we have. So,
I'm so excited. Can you give us Khalif? Can you give us a hint of what might be a new aspect to Acting Black?
Yeah, a new.
Predominantly, right? It's been the versions. The versions that I've seen is the two of you all in dialogue, pulling topics out of a hat, edited in a really fun way, an amazing way, and getting to the heart of the themes of your show really quickly. But then you've done some interview segments, and then you wrapped up with this conversation with students from the university you were referencing. So, what do you think is the next? Can you give us a hint?
Yeah, I'll give you a hint, about one segment that we've been talking about. So we decided with the Acting Black platform that we wanted to find ways to make sure there are other Black artists and Black actors being able to get through doors, but once getting through those doors, not feeling like, oh, I don't have all the experience or all the knowledge or even rehearsal etiquette to be in these places and feel like an outsider. And so we were like, well, we both have taught before, and we're like, we have the credentials to teach people. So we were like, let's find ways to educate people on certain skills that are like common knowledge to actors who are currently in rehearsal rooms and in rehearsals of shows, but those who may be afraid to be in rehearsal rooms. And so we're going to find a way to implement a sort of teaching segment that is still entertaining, but also like it provides actors who are new a toolkit so that when they are in these rehearsal rooms, it's like they know the etiquette and they know how to conduct themselves in these rooms.
We've got some exciting interviews lined up with some cool people, and we want to start performing because we're all kind of missing performing right now. So we have this platform. Khalif's an amazing writer and turning out scripts like candy. And so we're gonna take some of those scripts, grab some of our friends, and start having some performative elements, and just have fun. Because I think because it got caught up or it coincided with the movement that happened and sparked after George Floyd, we went with that movement, and we're going to still continue educating in that way. But we want to remember that we were having fun in the apartment with some lighting and just kind of riffing, and we want to bring a little bit of that element back to it. So it's just going to be a hodgepodge of everything.
And bring in a little joy.
Yeah.
And I've never heard someone say teaching the way you just said that, Khalif. Teaching.
Teaching. No, I can say it with more confidence. We are able to teach people. We have taught classes. From acting to public speaking, directing, all the things.
No, I know you did. The way you said that was like, I've never heard it said. Like,
I'm giving you variation. I'm giving you choices.
Triple quotes and like also an accent.
Yeah. Yes, we will be teaching you. There's the confident way to put that. Acting Black will be teaching you how to be an actor.
Yes.
Well, if we can, before we get to a short segment of the Acting Black model of this, let me ask one more question, and then and see how we're doing on time. Maybe two more questions, and then we can transition. So you all have been dedicating many, many hours to helping imagine, support, create out of whole cloth, along with education director of KCRep, Mindy McCrary, and also your teaching artist partner, Andy Perkins. You have been engaged deeply with some young artists from around the city to create a devised, original work that allows young people to give voice to what they're experiencing right now. And this piece, you all have collaboratively been building with them, creating the atmosphere and a channel for them to devise this piece that's going to be shared to the world really soon. And Khalif is deeply engaged, maybe even right now off screen, editing.
Yeah. I'm editing right now as we speak. I'm like cutting these clips together.
Editing this. So could you all share a little bit about your experience with the Summer Youth Theater Ensemble at KCRep, and give us any perspective or insight to what this means for you, but also what this you perceive it means to the young people engaged in this Summer Youth Theater Ensemble.
Just start by saying that it's probably one of the most important things that I've ever done. Creating an outlet for young people. I resonate so deeply with young people. I love teaching. I've taught ever since I was old enough for someone to listen to me. And one thing that continues to surprise me and blow me away is the level of talent and insight inside some of these young people. I mean, there are times when they're given 5 minutes and a writing prompt, and the things they come back with I have to hold in my tears until we log off because they are feeling so deeply and they're expressing so deeply. And we were only together for a month, but the ensemble and the camaraderie that was built in that 1 month is just fascinating to me, because I think with school going online and everybody being out in their homes, I think the young people were craving connection. And this every day from 10 to 4 or 10 to 3 was their connection. And so they poured their hearts and souls and their creative, and they're so multi-talented. There's people who write and sing and dance and choreograph and play instruments all with one student. And so I think, along with Andy, who's an amazing teacher, and Mindy, who is an amazing leader, thank you both, has put together a team that really just kind of created the space and the avenue for them to express themselves. Like we just kind of were here to catch all of the greatness that they were like giving out every day. And so it really has been one of the most important things I've done, to create an outlet specifically in this time when that is the thing that they crave and are missing the most. So I can't wait till everyone sees what they've come up with. And that's not even the half of what they came up with. Like the amount that's still left on the cutting floor is gems, is gold, because they are that talented.
Khalif, what do you think? What do you think this devised piece and this, clearly the community that happens amongst these students, these young people, clearly that's very meaningful to be able to connect with one another. What do you think, Khalif? Give us some perspective on creating an atmosphere where young people can express themselves in this moment. What do you think? What do you think about? Why is that important, or what have you experienced in your partnership with them in this moment?
I think it's important because just in speaking with all of the students and listening to them, we saw how it can be so easy to feel trapped in these times. Because even us as adults, we may feel trapped being in quarantine and things like that, but we can still like go to the store when we need to. We can like go for walks when we need to. But like sometimes being young and being trapped, there's an extra layer of, there are already some constraints that you have on you, but then on top of that, being able to not fully express yourself and find things in life. And so through the Zoom platform, we were able to kind of explore the inner workings of their minds a little bit more, because that's all that we had to put on the table. And I am constantly fascinated and in awe of them, because I feel like a lot of people will tend to write off young people as their problems are juvenile or they're not real, or like when you're older you'll understand that. But no, it's like they are fully aware of who they are. A lot of them are fully aware of who they are at very young ages, and they're able to express that in such remarkably eloquent ways. There are some students who have written some pieces that are like sort of like spoken word, and the metaphors in which they describe their heartaches or their triumphs are just phenomenal. And I'm like, how are you doing this? And then we have some students who are visual artists that put some of the people who I was in class with when I was an art major to shame. And I'm like, how are you this young and this talented? It blows my mind. But I think it was so important that site continued, because it showed them that no matter what, you're still an artist. No matter what constraints you may feel on yourself, your mind is still beautiful and able to create something that can be put out into the world. And I hope they feel that. That's what I think Mindy, Yetunde, Andy, and I were striving for, but I really hope they do feel that.
Well, it's really remarkable what you all have done, because I never experienced, because I got here last September, I never experienced the Summer Youth Theater Ensemble in its usual form, which was in person and a little more. It was still devised, but it was a little more in a kind of traditional theater setting, theater space. with traditional theatrical lighting and support, and bringing the resources of KCRep to help elevate that. You know, part of the power of it, from my understanding, was like being on the KCRep stage, right? And the fact that you all have created an opportunity and done all the work that it takes to reimagine how to make it a fulfilling, enriching, and inspiring experience that gives young people the opportunity to express, and not only express, but like craft in collaboration, in democratic collaboration, a story, is powerful. It's amazing. I'm so excited to see it. I've seen snippets, I've read excerpts. I ducked in once and then was told, don't interrupt us anymore. And so I'm excited to hear about that.
Can I just?
Was there anything unexpected? Oh, sorry, Yetunde, go.
Oh no. Anything unexpected? Your question
About about that. Jana asked this. Jana Lyles, marketing director, just asked, was there anything unexpected about the switch to the virtual with students? Was there anything?
Well, the interesting part is,
It's your first time.
Yeah, it's our first time. So
Yeah.
I expressed, I felt nervousness, because there are students who have done it. There's one student who's done it all 4 years that it's existed. And here is, I'm new, Khalif's new, the virtual setting is new. And so I was very nervous going in. But I think what surprised me, and I know this about kids are plastic, they're adaptable. If you say it's like this, they pivot. So they're the best pivoters ever. And so there's times where Andy and I would make eye contact over Zoom, switch it up really quickly, and they would just come right along with us. And so their adaptability is really key. But the thing I was going to say before is that programs like this need more support, right? Because the accessibility, the ability, the fact that no one's paying for it, that it's free, is so important and so necessary. There are kids that if this was paid, they wouldn't be able to access it. And there are kids for whom it hasn't reached yet, so it needs more support and more funding so that it can go even further, because we've heard that there are so many kids who would have benefited from this had they known about it. And so I think continuing to fund programs like this, because as of right now, it feels like it's the only creative production kind of thing that's happening right now. And so I think continuing to remind people that it's not just, oh, the kids, it's like a major outlet for the future artistic leaders of tomorrow. I mean, I think there's an artistic director in that group right now who could probably run KCRep right alongside you.
I'm sure.
Yes, so to continue to nurture them and support them is really, really important. So that's my plug. Support site, support youth educational theater.
This is all a part of that sort of like that pipeline where it's like, because we offer this accessibility now, we are able to have a diverse group of kids more than we would have if this was something that was paid for and there was tuition for it. And that goes from all the way from them in middle and high school all the way up to us in graduate training program. It's like, if you offer that accessibility and that funding and make it available to students who come from different socioeconomic backgrounds, they are able to like thrive, and you will start to see the change further down the line in theaters up to the artistic staff and like the people headlining and the people backstage running the theater.
Because they can see themselves. Once they saw Khalif and I, and now they can see themselves in such careers. And so thank you to everyone from KCRep staff who's been coming and speaking and just showing and telling about all of the careers, because I can literally see the light bulbs go off like, I didn't know that was a thing. And they begin to see themselves able to do that very same career. So it's very, very important.
And that was amazing. Really moving. Thank you both for sharing. And a tremendous affirmation of the organizations and foundations that support youth education in this moment, especially in the arts. And we have heard from many in that community that they know, especially in this year, it's going to look differently. And so they're also game for following what our education leaders in theater like Mindy McCrary are saying. We're going to go in this direction. And and the site experience in conversation with Mindy has been proven that this is something that we are going to continue to invest in and give opportunities for students and young people in the fall when there's going to continue to be a real need for this type of engagement. And so it has become an even more of a priority for us. And honestly, because our focus, especially in early fall, as we look at digital programming, as we look at outdoor events in the fall, like, to be able to also recognize that our mission is in many different areas in this community, including in youth opportunity and education. And the other thing, I don't want to go too deep into this. The other thing, like, is really resonating with me from what you're saying is thinking about equity in the theater. To get back to a little bit of the acting Black themes, a little bit to what white American theater themes. There's been a broadening for me, even in this week, about that early education part of this and the early mentorship part of this, that and the accessibility for younger people earlier to even imagine themselves in the field is something that has been expanded in me this last week, and you were amplifying that with what you're sharing.
Yeah, like Yetunde saying, like, them being able to see us, like, having two Black teachers. Like, I didn't have a Black teacher until I got to college, and so the fact that, like, getting to them, like, younger, I feel like that's gonna spark that. You can't be what you can't see. Like, throw it out the window, because now you see it, and now you can be that and more.
Yeah. That's super powerful. We are at 6:42. Have we failed already?
No, we didn't fail, because I'm so uber excited about sight, and if that's what we got to talk about, then I'm satisfied. We'll all the institutional things the next time.
Well, why don't we take some of the questions that have been coming in, and also if there's a combo space for pull the topic out of the Black grab bag, or actually it was a box for you all.
Yeah.
That'd be great. So let's see if maybe we do a combo and see how you all agreed.
Let's do it.
That you did to improvise along the line. So a couple. Jen, thank you. Jen Spa, thank you, as always, for facilitating this conversation. Who works for KCRep and also shares questions that are coming in from Facebook. And also, as always, a big shout out to Amanda Aroney, who delivers our cocktails around the city and in other states quite often. So cheers to you. I hope that you're enjoying your evening. So thank you to Amanda. Katie Gilchrist, I so appreciate you for engaging with this series and for continuing to ask questions. And I want to give a shout out to your ongoing series. Katie was on and we highlighted her, and people should check out Katie's Monday night series featuring actors from all over the community and performers from all over the community.
That's fabulous.
Katie has a question.
Hi, Katie.
In the eventuality that Ginger is still, or is this just the stress of the times? One or the other is just sitting on my throat right now. In the eventuality, from Katie Gilchrist, in the eventuality that we come out of the quarantines, what would be your ideal expression of the Acting Black series?
Oh, okay, go for it, Khalif.
Okay, so we would have our own like amazing looking set. Like one of the things that inspired Acting Black, at least for me, was the Variety Studio series Actors on Actors, where they get actors to interview each other, and they're always in like this nice furniture that looks like, you know, it's not like IKEA furniture. It's like nice stuff. There's some plants in the back. There's some nicely colored walls. I think Acting Black will be like that. We would have a set where people come to the studio and they get interviewed by me and Yetunde. We would have our
Would be a live studio audience.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be cool too. I mean, that would be like nerve wracking for me just because of the way the show functions. Like we edit it together so that it's smooth.
Oh yeah, you edit the hell out of it. It's so good, and it's so good.
Yes, we turned like hour and 30-minute conversations into like 10 minutes. So live audience, maybe that could be cool. A live show would be amazing though. I feel like it'd be cool to have a variety show in some way for Acting Black. It's like we have like part interviews, but then part like we do skits. Like it'd be like the Sunny and Cher show, but like the Yetunde and Khalif show. And, like, it'd be fabulous. I have big dreams.
House band.
I'm Cher. Wait, what happened?
I was gonna say that.
House band. Well, who would it be?
Oh god, I want to say the Roots just because that's who first came to my mind, but honestly, I'm gonna go with Tank and the Bangas.
Tank and the Bangas. Yes, done. It's done.
It'd be amazing.
That is a perfect fit for you all.
Yes, isn't it?
Deep and playful.
I'm glad you can see it.
I love it.
I love it. Okay, I want to share this out and also get any reflections or thoughts or amplification from Yetunde and Khalif. The Be an Arts Hero campaign. Do you know much about it? Have you been a part of it? Be an Arts Hero. So
I think I started watching the video earlier today with Walter and Carson, but I didn't get to finish it because I had a meeting.
That's one part of Be an Arts Hero campaign, and this Be an Arts Hero campaign is all about amplifying the needs and concerns of the, in particular, contracted arts community. For those that work from job to job, those that work on contracts are not full-time, and amplifying the needs and concerns of artists in the performing arts community in particular. And if you don't know about Be an Arts Hero campaign, you should check it out. And this is a crucial time to call your representatives. I have called again and again in my personal capacity as my role as the artistic director of KCRep. And I want to encourage, this is a crucial moment where pandemic insurance is being really considered. Extension of pandemic unemployment insurance is really being considered. And we need everyone in our community to raise their voice and amplify the need there is for our fellow artists who are our neighbors in this community. And they give you all the tools that you need to sound like you know what you're talking about. They also frame the economic impact that the arts have. They also frame the realities of being an artist who works as on contracts, of which there's very few in all of American theater right now. So I just want to amplify that and encourage people. And I think Jen's going to post the links and hashtags. But this moment right now, when the Senate is delaying a vote on the extension of pandemic health insurance and a whole range of other elements, this is the moment to call right now. Your voice needs to connect with representatives right now. Jen already said she posted the comments. So I wanted to just amplify that right now. That's great. I think we have a moment to do a little acting black style grab bag.
Okay.
Oh, no, another question just came in.
Okay.
Allison Jones, we have to take the question from Allison Jones. Hi, Allison. Who would be, I mean, I know what the answer to this is going to be. Who would be an acting black guest of your wildest dreams? Besides Allison Jones,
Allison Jones was our first guest. She was our first guest.
Your first guess.
Yeah. Oh.
So, wildest dreams. Okay, I'm going to rephrase Allison's question and say that you haven't already had on. Who would be your ideal wildest dreams acting black guest?
Let's each say one. I know mine would be Michaela Cole.
You win.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Do you like where he took that first, Yetunde? Because I know
we both her too. We equally stand her, like we equally like just stalk her.
I just want to be in the presence of her cheekbones.
We just want to be in the same room with her and her cheekbones. And so she would be, she's just such a talented writer, actor, producer. She's just so multi-hyphenate and she's of African descent, and she's like a one-woman production company in the sense that she reminds us that we can just start and do it, right? And then the things will come. And so I think if we could have her, I mean, Khalif has downloaded her scripts and is studying them because I watch her on repeat and everything that she's done. So I second that.
For those that don't know her, can you give the series highlights? Because her most recent series just like will destroy you.
Yeah, okay, so she started in theater. She did like Medea at the National Theater, but then like her first major series was Chewing Gum on Netflix. And then
is her background Nigerian?
Ghanaian. She's from Ghana.
But was that the background of her family in Chewing Gum?
I think she may have had Nigerian actors in Chewing Gum.
That's what I thought. Okay. So Chewing Gum.
Yeah, Chewing Gum, and then is it called Black Earth Rising? Is another one of her Netflix films. Been So Long on Netflix. Her new HBO series is called I May Destroy You, and she's been on Black Mirror and Star Trek, I believe, and so yeah.
And she started by writing poetry and doing spoken word, and like with a pen in her hands, I just think she's unstoppable, and we haven't seen the best yet. There's still more to come from her. So if we could sit down with her, man, yeah, that would be amazing.
I May Destroy You is so phenomenal.
It's
great storytelling.
Very much. It's the best thing on TV right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's brutal. It's hard to watch, but it's necessary.
Definite content warnings.
There's trigger warnings around sexual assault all over the place for those that are considering checking it out. But it is it just keeps you off balance in amazing ways, and everyone is shading everyone.
Right. It somehow found a way to be important and educational, but also buoyant enough to like keep you listening, and it doesn't come off as preachy ever, which I really appreciated.
And a lot of that is like centered around her just her magnetism. Yeah. Like her intellect is on display all over the place, but like also in terms of the buoyancy, like her performance approach is just so magnetic. And that for me is part of the buoyancy, even engaging in a tough, challenging story.
A true story. A true story. Yeah.
So great. We have 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Can we do one of these super fast? Okay. Can we do, or should we? We said we would improvise tonight. Okay. I'm going to improvise. Are you game? Because 5 minutes is not enough to hit one of these topics. So I'm going to improvise with a shorter question. Are you all game for doing that?
Good.
is there something that you're engaging with personally, creatively, on a human level, whatever level you want to consider? Is there something that feels like so of the pandemic? Like, is there something that like, I'm doing this now, I never did it before, and I probably knew it never do it again, but right now I'm doing this. Is there something for you?
For me, it's the classic thing. I am putting together 500, 1,000, even 2,000 piece puzzles. It's calming. It's sufficiently a challenge, but it's also calming. I can watch TV a little bit and I can puzzle, and I can talk to people on the phone and I can puzzle. And so I've put together 3 so far. I'm on the hunt for now. I'm challenging myself with double-sided puzzles and puzzles that don't have a neat board growing in my puzzling. And it just is a reminder of the slower pace that I'm trying to embrace. I've learned to be a little bit more selfish, a little bit more okay with saying no, and just kind of, I've graduated into my own pace and I don't feel bad about it. And so puzzling is perfect. If it takes 2 days, if it takes a week, you just puzzle. And then until you have a completed picture. So that's my pandemic activity that will probably continue.
Is there a puzzle theme?
No, I want the coolest one. I like ones that are surrounding books because I'm also reading a lot, but I've always read. And so I like puzzles that have books on them. So I'm just a double nerd.
Yes.
Khalif, how about for you? Is there something that feels of the pandemic? You gave some coy looks as soon as I
because I was trying to think, I was like, ooh, puzzles. That's good. Okay, kind of two. One of them is watching series from beginning to end, and just like trying to see like their structure and be like, what went wrong in season 4 and all of this, and like that's been really interesting. Some shows that I've been meaning to watch that I haven't, like Community, I've started and finished during this quarantine, and like it's an amazing show. And so that's been really cool. But then also something else that feels very of the pandemic, and it shouldn't have been, is connecting with people who I haven't spoke with in a long time.
Yeah.
I've gotten to reconnect with friends who I haven't seen in 4 years, 8 years, and just have phone conversations. And we do what I call the sports highlights since we last have seen each other. And
Sure.
just to like hear about what a life has been like in like 10 minutes or an hour. It's phenomenal to hear about friends who are now married and have kids or have amazing jobs or have gone through very much hardships. It's a beautiful way to connect with people, but it's been amazing just to like reconnect with old friends that I've had and to see how we've changed and how we've grown. Yeah.
I hate puzzles. And I need more connecting with folks I haven't talked to in a while. Nisa, my partner, loves puzzles, and it's her greatest frustration that our twins and I just we can't do it. And she's like trying to get us to do it all the time, and we're in quarantine times and we want to give each other what we need, but like it lasts about 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
If
God.
there's a safe way for Yetunde, you and Nisa to do some puzzles, I'm sure there's a digital puzzle. I'm sure there's a digital puzzle situation that you all could do.
Yeah.
And Khalif, you're inspiring me. There was 2 people that flashed through my head as soon as you said that. So thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Find out those sports highlights. See what they've been up to. The greatest hit.
Piece. Can you do maybe 100 pieces?
No, I don't like anything about it. I don't like the hunching over. I don't like the searching.
I'm too impatient for that. I like to see the big picture now.
I actually just did a puzzle and I had never seen the picture, and it was like a discovery. No?
Oh, you're insane.
That's hilarious.
I want to. I'm going to thank first to Lifted Spirits. who you can get a cocktail kit from, order them online from liftspirits.kc.square.site. And they're available for pickup at 1734 Cherry Streets, singular, Cherry Street. And they have been our host throughout this series, and we're really grateful for their partnership in this, and think they're really cool for what they're doing. The cocktails have been amazing, and also this new series where they're highlighting amazing people in the community. Also want to announce that of this weekly series, we only have 3 more left of the Thursday Night Mixer. We're going to continue it throughout the season with connected to projects, but in terms of the weekly series, we've got 3 more that we're going to do throughout the month of August, and then we're going to transition into some other digital programming and other digital experiences after that.
That makes being on here twice even more special. So thank you for having me 2 times.
I feel grateful and feel special that you all joined us. And I really appreciate you all improvising with me tonight. And it's been great to spend some time connecting and talking about the thing that we're all really passionate about, which is theater and our connection to stories, and those stories helping to connect and uplift, hopefully, and allow us to reflect on our shared humanity. Something that we all love and can't wait to get back to. So thank you for joining us. And Yetunde and Khalif, thanks for all your work with Sight. And it's great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, everyone. Check us out on Sight 2020, virtually yours.
Vote for Acting Black.
Best virtual event KC pitch. Voting opens August 31st. Woo.